My fellow Americans, I speak to you tonight from sacred ground in America. Independence Hall. This is where America made its Declaration of Independence to the world more than 2 centuries ago with an idea unique among nations, that in America, we're all created equal. This is where the United States Constitution was written and debated. These two documents and the ideas...
The leader of the free world stood before his own nation and issued a stern warning for its future. Standing behind a podium inside Philadelphia's Independence Hall, with 2 United States Marines standing in the background, he spoke in a setting that could have rivaled only the House of Soviets. That stern warning: people who vote for the opposition party should be assumed domestic extremists.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. These are hard things, but I'm an American president, and here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
Remember when political attacks like this were unthinkable?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Those Pepperidge Farm days are gone. We're in a new time, one that features everything Democrats said it would not be. Introducing the Biden administration. More contradictions, more outright lies, more contempt for ordinary, everyday Americans like you've never seen. Behold, as our dear leader tells us, that nation building was never a goal during the war in Afghanistan.
Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building. It was never supposed to be creating a unified, centralized democracy. Our only vital national interest in Afghanistan remains today what it has always been: preventing a terrorist attack on America's homeland.
Care to tell us why the federal government spent $8 trillion over 2 decades? They could have spent trillions in taxpayer money on America's infrastructure, don't you know? But wait, this administration is already ahead. They have a solid plan, one so good it needs a catchy name.
Build back better.
Larger corporate tax rates, lower GDP, fewer jobs, lower wages.
And they'll call it finding common ground.
Build back better.
Besides, Americans will need something to help them adjust to these greater commuting and travel expenses. But don't worry, this administration has already prepared your solution for you. Go out and buy a Tesla, you big dummy! It will only cost you around 70 grand. You can pay for it with those lower wages. But don't think you can go charging it anytime you want. You're killing the grid.
Build back better.
Witness the greatness of our dear leader as he attempts mundane activities like riding a bike or trying to walk upstairs. He falls on his face while doing both and continues to make gaffe after gaffe, sticking to a theme that has dominated his career in the executive branch. It's as if the man just can't help himself. But wait, there's more. The racist grandpa is sending boatloads of money to Ukraine so it can fight an insurmountable war against a much greater adversary. We would compare it to David and Goliath, but slingshots do not cost this much. The Ukrainians need aid in the form of more than $100 billion and counting from the U.S. government. The Russian invasion is nearing a full year. The U.S. has given $100 billion to Ukraine with no end to the conflict in sight. Remember when Grandpa said Putin is afraid of him?
Build back better.
It's all getting better, even if you can't see it. You just have to believe it's there. That's the beauty and wonder of the Biden administration. It cannot be questioned. Come back next time to see what they do next. And remember, You could have had the other guy.
Grandpop was named Ambrose Finnegan. At kitchen table I learned. I used to say, Joey, nobody's better than you, but you're no better than anybody else.